Hi everyone, here we are again for another Hatton's live stream, and today we're doing our first SkillsCast. So I'll be showing you some of the skills and things you need to know if you're looking at detailing your locomotives. And it is for something that a lot of people are intimidated by, especially with locomotives being pre-provided with so many details on them already these days. But it's a great way to customize your models. It's a great way to really individualize them too. A lot of the details included as optional extras do fit certain locomotives and not others. So I'll be giving you a little bit of an overview today, showing you some of the basic skills to get started, hopefully tempting you into detailing some of the models in your collection. And I'll be answering any questions throughout the stream as well. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. So if you've got any particular questions regarding fitting details to your locos, I will answer them throughout the stream. So do have a look at some locomotives that are already in your collection, and you'll probably notice that they do come with a detailing bag with many different parts. A lot of those are optional extras should you wish to add even more detail to the factory finish of your locomotive. Some of them change the appearance based on different locomotives or at different points in the locomotive's life, but many of them as well just there to really define the model and finish it off. And as you can imagine, there are a few golden rules that are best to cover before we get started. So the first golden rule is always, always, always read the instructions before you start. You will find with a lot of models now, there is a full guide on the detailing, how to fit it, and actually what it is as well. Sometimes you can look at a detailing bag and not quite be sure what's in the kit. But at the same time, have a look at that instruction manual. It will give you a full set there. Indeed, with our P-Class, we've got a full definition of the detailing kits too. So do have a look at that. The second golden rule is a lot of the detailing does come at the compromise of locomotives being able to get round tighter curves or retain their original tension lock couplings. So if you do want to run round second radius curves and you want your locomotives to still be able to couple to other rolling stock, have a check of that detailing first. Again, a lot of the information is in the manual as to whether you can fit the detail and still have the running qualities the same. But in a lot of cases, it's either a case of having the detail or having the running through the tighter train set curves. So that's really down to you, but do just have a check beforehand before you get started. So as some of you have already spotted, Kelly spotted a couple of the locomotives that we've got on the desk here today. We've got the Hornby J36 mod here that I'll be starting off with. Then we'll be looking at adding some details to the Hatton's P-Class. And then we will be adding nameplates to the Dapol 00 gauge Western. The skills that I'm going to show you today can be used across a wide variety of different models, across many different scales too. So if I've not got your model covered here today, these skills really are transferable. So make sure you tune in and keep your ears peeled for all the top tips that I will give you throughout the show. So I've got a selection of tools here to get started too. A lot of you will already have them in your collection, but if not, it is a few bits and pieces you can pick up from our website. So head over there if you're missing any of these essential tools and we can get you sorted for them. So we've got a pair of good screwdrivers. It's always good to have a flathead and a crosshead screwdriver, mainly as a lot of locomotives do have different fittings. A good set of tweezers, which is really good for attaching the fine detail, as you will see shortly. A good craft knife as well, especially with a safety cover for when you are putting it away. Do watch your fingers when you're using a craft knife though. A really good super glue as well is always good to hand, or a suitable plastic glue. Again, we sell many different types here. And one thing we don't sell, we haven't quite done our own branded versions of these yet, but these are a little bit of a known secret in the hobby for those of you who haven't done detailing. Always have a set of cocktail sticks to hand. They are absolutely fantastic for applying glue to models and just making sure you get the right amount without using too much glue. And that certainly is the second golden rule. Always make sure you use a lot less glue than you think you'll need. Otherwise, glue ending up on your models, on your fingers, it's pretty hard to get off and it can damage the look of the locos too. So let's have a look at the J36, because you don't always need all those tools to hand. If you look at the front of the locomotive I've got here for you, you'll see we've got the NEM coupling at the front. And to do our first detailing, all we need to do is just pull that out. And then we will empty our detailing bag. I always do it onto a clear surface where we can, just so you're not going to lose any of your details and you can see all the separate pieces. And then all we need to do there is the end of the NEM coupling. Slot that into the locomotive, as you can see. And immediately we've already detailed something there, guys. That's as easy as it is. We've now fitted our J36 with a snowplow on the front. So some detailing you do get in the packs there is a straight fit. It replaces the couplings that go in. Some of the diesel locomotives have snowplows that go on there, but you can see already we've now got a snowplow there, and Maud is ready to work through the winter on your double O gauge layout too. But there's another couple of options we can fit on the front of the J36. You will often find on some of the models that they'll have holes such as this here, where you can see there is a socket for a brake pipe. Again, if we look at our instructions, you will see there is some more information there on where the pipe is advised to be fitted. So do check out the instructions to see where the items go. So all we do then is we'll get a little bit of glue out of our container as we are opening the glue now. Another little tip for you, always put your glue on something that you don't mind disposing of afterwards. I occasionally use little spare bits of plastic that I have here. And again, just a tiny little bit of glue there. We're not putting a huge amount out. And there really isn't a lot of need to add a lot of glue, as you'll see. So all I've got there is just the tiniest little bit that you can see on the plastic pack. We'll just sift through our details and make sure we find the right pipe. There we are. So that is the pipe we'll need for the front. So that's going to be sitting just there. So again, we'll get one of our cocktail sticks, put that in the glue. Just the tiniest little bit, as you can see there on the end of the cocktail stick. There really isn't need for much more than that. We'll just put the glue on the end of the socket where it needs to be applied. Again, a lot less is more. You can barely see that on the camera, but there is more than enough glue there than we need. Carefully get the socket, and then holding the locomotive and the part securely, just make sure that goes in. Sometimes you do need a little bit of dexterity to fit these, but they are designed at the same time to slot in. Sometimes you might find it better just to use your fingers, as long as you don't catch some of the detailing. And there we go. We've got that all fitted there now. So now we've got a vacuum brake on the front of our locomotive. You'll see that this does not work with the snowplow there either. So as we were saying before, some of the details are optional. You can either have one or the other, but we can certainly fit our NEM coupling back on from the original model if it wants to go in. There we are. And you can have both the pipe and the coupling on there. So really easy first fit there. I'll bring you around for our last part for the J36. And just to show you again, we've got the optional coal load here that's included with quite a few different locomotives. This is another detail that needs absolutely no glue. It just slots and presses in. And again, all the information on that is in the instruction manual there. So we have now carried out quite a bit of detailing onto our J36. We did have the snowplow for a moment, and then we left it off. But we did add the vacuum brake pipe on the front. There is, if you wish to continue with that, a vacuum brake pipe for the rear, various other parts there, including brake rigging and secondary couplings. So you really can go to town, and it is just a little bit of the details there that you see. So Kelly, if you have a look back towards the start of the stream, we've covered some of the detail, the tools that you need, and you can of course pick up all of those from our website too. If you need a hand making sure you're picking the right ones, do get in touch with our customer experience team and they will help you out. So let's leave the J36 behind. I will just put that over there to dry. Usually allow them a couple of minutes for the details to dry. And we'll come back to the J36 in a second as we move on to the Hatton's P-Class. Now, this is a second area of detailing that really does start getting exciting. And this is the details where you really can start to customize it. I'll just bring that white piece of paper back so you can see some of the finer details there. And if I put them down on there for you, you'll see again, we've got our collection of brake pipes, optional couplings, steam heat pipes, but we also have some little jerry cans too that we used on the top of the locomotives, and some of the Southern Railway route indicator discs, which is what we will try and put on now. So again, just getting a very, very small bit of glue. We have the locomotive ready. We'll put a disc on the bottom right there. So just a tiny bit of glue onto the lamp bracket there. Really, absolutely no need for huge amounts of glue here, guys. That's where the cocktail stick really comes in handy. And then I will pick up one of these little discs, get the locomotive, make sure that is present and correct. Sometimes it's good to work on a flat surface. Sometimes you do need to lift them up and maneuver them a little bit to make sure the details go on. I'll just give it a couple of seconds to set there. I might need a little bit more glue actually, but we'll see how we do. I think we'll need a little bit more glue there, guys. Actually, I'm being a little bit too sparing on that one, but as long as you've got enough, and it usually takes a few seconds to attach to, so make sure that you're pretty quick getting the detailing part onto the locomotive. And this is just one of many different detailing items that you can add to the particular models. You can add headboards, you can add brake pipes, as you have seen. You can add all sorts of different details. Just make sure that goes on for you. Sometimes you do just need to give them a second to set. But there we go. We have now got one of the discs on the front of the locomotive. So there's a few more that we can still add there. And you'll notice that that didn't have a securing lug either. You'll see there's a hole in the buffer beam for the securing lug on the locomotive. Once you have glued the parts on there on O-Molder, it is quite tricky to take them off. You can use glue remover that's out there, but at the same time, I would recommend once they're on, leaving them on there and putting them on. So hence, as we said before, make sure you read the instructions just to make sure you're getting the right parts in the right places. And if you can, have a particular reference photo of your locomotive available too. So we've got some options there for the P. We'll stick with just putting the brake disc on, the route indicator disc now, but you can see again, other detailing packs you can put on include the steam heat pipes and the extra couplings too. And you've got the NEM socket there, which is something you can put on extra. Of course, there are other options towards the rear where you've got options for different pipes and the head code discs as well. So I will move our P-Class out of the way. And as ever, if there's any of this you want to recap, you can watch it after the stream. I really would recommend having a go at detailing some of your locomotives. It is as easy as I am making it look here. There's no different technology that you need. There's no hidden secrets. I'm here to show you today that it really isn't something you should worry about, and you can certainly detail your own locomotives. So I will put our Dapol Class 52 Western. I'll put that on a little bit of foam just as we are going to do the detailing on the side of this locomotive, as what we are going to attach are the etched nameplates. Now, this is in common with a lot of diesel locomotives and some of the larger steam locomotives too. You'll find a specific running number and the name of these engines for you to apply on the side of the locomotive. You'll just about see it there, but Dapol have helpfully put some bumps on the side of the model to show you exactly where the details go. But again, do refer to your model and prototype pictures of that too. So these again, really easy. They're just a small metal casting that you'll see. If you get your knife and just cut at the end of each piece there. So just firmly press down and cut away, and do that at the other end too. We should now, might have to do another quick cut at the other end. I've got the detailing ready. So these plates are now ready to go and fit to our Western locomotive. So I'll just put them out of the way. We'll bring our Western back into shot. So we're going to put nameplates right in the middle there. And it's always worth just a bit of a trial fit without putting any glue on beforehand, just to make sure you've got them in the right place. You can refer to photographs that you have then to make sure you've got the identity correct. You've got the absolutely spot on square too. So again, we're already pretty much all of the way there. We just need to get a little bit of glue on there now. We've cut the nameplates from the sprue, so they are now separate, and we have the other ones that we can fit on afterwards. I would recommend leaving the rest on the sprue until you need them to, just so you don't lose them really. It is quite easy to lose some of the extra detailing parts, but as long as you keep them safe and usually on a bit of white paper, it means they won't go missing too easily. So anyway, without further ado, let's finish our Western. So we'll just grab it with those tweezers again. And for one last time, we will just get a tiny sliver of our glue and just put it right down the middle of the nameplate there. You can see that I'm really not putting that much on at all here, just enough to make sure it sticks. But with nameplates, do use less than you think, because otherwise it will come out of the sides and might not look so good on your model once it's done. So just using a tiny bit of glue there, really, really small piece. And fingers crossed, if we get this the right way up, we will align that. Sometimes again, just using good old-fashioned fingers, and just pressing it down, making sure that's on. There we are. We now have Western Gladiator rather than the anonymous locomotive that we got out of the box. So again, give it 1 or 2 minutes to dry there, and then proceed to add your other plates. But now you have a locomotive with an identity, with a fully etched detailed plate. The great opportunity with these is if you wanted to change the name on your locomotive too, you can use the details supplied in the pack or get some of the other nameplates out there to change the locomotive that you have. As Ian said, there are other methods out there as well, which you can give a go. He chooses to fit his nameplates with varnish, which again is something I've tried and found something really successful. Some people use double-sided sticky tape too, but at the same time, there's some great opportunities to use the glue as long as you're steady. We've got it steady, straight and aligned, absolutely fine first time there on the screen. So we fitted a selection of different items today and just showing you how much you can do with detailing your locomotives. It really isn't something to scare of, and it really isn't something that you should fear. There's a lot of details that you can add. The variety of parts that I've got here today. We fitted the route indicator disc to our P-class. We fitted the brake pipe, the coal and the snow plough to our J36 locomotive. And I haven't even started exploring these detail packs. We have different head codes for the Class 52 Western that you can fit. I'll show you just the sheer amount of details that you do get with the Dapol Western locomotive. You get brake pipes, spare couplings. There's a whole bag of lots and lots of different bits that you can see there. So you really can go to town with some of the detailing should you wish. And then you've got the head code variations there that you can fit to the front of your locomotives. So we really do have a lot you can customize, and all the tools are available. Everything I've used here today, apart from the cocktail sticks, but they're pretty easy to get hold of anyway. Everything else is available from Hatton's Model Railways right now, and our customer experience and products teams are more than happy to recommend which tools you need. So if you are looking at detailing specific locomotives, do let us know and we'll recommend the screwdrivers, the glue, the knife, etc., that you will need. But you don't need a huge amount of tools. A lot of them you will probably already have in your collections, and you can start customizing your models right now. So after this stream ends, why not go and have a quick look at your model collection? Have a look at some of those unopened detail bags. Make sure you read the instructions to find out where those parts go and give it a go. Everyone starts modeling somewhere. Even the master modelers building these huge layouts out there started with some of the basic detailing like this. So if you really have the ambition and you want to build a huge layout with so many details, there's a lot worse places to start than doing some of these finer details that you see here. Just starting off, building up your confidence in modeling, but at the same time, giving you something in your collection that is truly yours and something that you have added to too. So take a look at the tools on our website. If there's anything more you want to know, do have a watch back through the stream where I covered a lot of the different details and some of the advice there. But if you've got any further questions, please put them in the comments on this video. Get in touch with our customer experience team. More than happy to get you guys really with the experience and the confidence in modeling to be able to do stuff like this and even more besides. But do check out more of our SkillsCasts that we'll be bringing you in the future. We'll be showing you other items like this where it's some of the, it looks complicated, but is actually quite easy to do things and really remove the fear from doing skills such as digital fitting or indeed weathering your locomotives, fitting them with details and such too. So keep an eye on our channel if you like this video and you want to learn a bit more about customizing your collection. Otherwise, make sure to click that link in the description for more of the details on the tools. Feel free to ask any more questions you have, either get in touch with us via phone, email or live chat, or indeed the comments on this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page for more videos like this, including SkillsCasts and loco and model profiles too. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Hope I've inspired you to do a little bit modeling, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.